As a creator, staying organized, consistent, and proactive is honestly a bigger struggle than creating itself. No matter if you're a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, an influencer, or like in my case, a multiple platform creator, I will in this highly requested video show you how I as a creator on 5 platforms structurize, organize, and overall work as a creator with ADHD and anxiety using only free sources. I overall only use 3 sources to make everything work. Google Calendar I use to structurize and color code my everyday and weekly work life. For project planning, idea scribbling, to-do lists and such, I use Notion. And lastly, to make sure I don't overwork as well as keep track of how much I worked in general and vacation time, I use Google Sheets. And my favorite part about these programs is not only that they're free, is they have a desktop and an app so they at all times keep synced and up to date no matter if you're on the go or at your desktop. Let's say you're out and about and you're just living your life, doing grocery shopping, going to the gym, hanging out with friends, and then suddenly you have a great idea for a piece of content. You write it down on your phone or your notepad, whatever you have available at the time, but then eventually you have this problem. You now have notes everywhere and they are not collected in the same place. And this is where Notion comes in handy. I swear to God, I'm playing a game of how many places can I stay in my living room and still make the movie to make this video moving and interesting to look at. You can think of Notion as your blank digital journal. This means you can make your Notion as creative and as simple as you like. Like in my case, I prefer to have only 3 pages for my creation and have a simple to-do list in each of them. So I have one for short form content or TikToks, I have one for long form content or YouTube, and I have one for live streams, in my case, Twitch. And every single one of them have a simple to-do list. To do, progress, and completed. So when I get an idea, I scribble it down in the, to-do part. And if it's something I feel like this is actually a piece of content I want to work on, I will do some notes, drag it to the in process or progress or working or whatever you want to call it. And by doing this, I can keep complete track of what ideas to discard and which ideas I am currently working on. And of course, as soon as the product is live, it will be yeeted to the completed part. And honestly, that's it. That's the magic. A simple to-do list with the option of me hashtagging, color coding, scribbling, scripting, whatever I might need for it in one place. And now that I have my ideas and drafts in Notion, it's time to bring them to life using Google Calendar. Once again, I keep it very, very simple because again, the ADHD brain has a lot of overthinking and going on, and we do not want to transfer that to my working schedule part. And I'm not gonna lie, using Google Calendar was a bit tricky at first to figure out. I had an idea of what I wanted, but I didn't know how to create it. And when I looked at what others had done on like tutorials on YouTube, they didn't really explain the part I needed explaining, so I'm gonna tell you. In Google Calendar, you have the option to create different contacts. If you're in a team, it is of course for your other team members so you can keep track of when who's doing what. But in our case, as a single creator, you're gonna use these contacts for work tasks and color code them. By doing this, it makes it super easy for especially a very visual mind like mine to keep track of which work tasks I'm doing when, as I can easily, spot it with the colors as it's supposed to. Because let's face it, if it's just one wall of the same color and text, I have no idea what is going on when, and I'll be completely overwhelmed and not use it at all. And like I mentioned before, the best part is it syncs up with your app on your phone if you got it. So this means if I input I need to go to the dentist, I will be able to see it on my desktop and ensure both on the phone and the desktop it doesn't correlate with like a meeting or immediate work task or something, making being a creator really easy as you can have everything in one place. My camera just cut me completely off and stopped recording and I have no idea where it stopped, so I'm gonna summarize the last part and just fingers crossed that I got everything. In case we didn't get the Sheets part, I use Google Sheets to maintain a healthy work-life balance work hour-wise. So every single day I click this little watch to keep track of how many hours I work a day. I then input these numbers in a Google Sheets document that is basically a Microsoft Excel worksheet for the day, the week, and the year. And by doing this, I can keep track of, again, how many hours I work, as we easily tend to hyper-focus and forget to relax as a creator and neurospicy ADHDs, And to summarize everything, because that's where I think my camera accidentally went To structurize and make sure I work and as well keeping track of what I work on a daily and weekly and monthly basis, I use Google Calendar. To scribble down my ideas, keep track of how much I've worked on them, what I need doing, as well as just in general brainstorming and idea bombing, I use Notion. And lastly, to keep track of everything and not overworking, I use Google Sheets. So these are the 3 tools I as a creator use to stay consistent, structurized, and proactive on 5 different platforms with ADHD. Whew, a mouthful.